Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim and I'm here with an update for my Pan That Palette project for the year. So this year the Pantastic Ladies voted, and it was voted on that we would do a Tiny Pans Pan That Palette, which meant that we had to find a palette in our collection that had either the tiniest pans as far as like how little they are in the pan, or you could choose a palette that had the least amount of weight in each pan. This is created by Tate, and I thought it was a great idea, so I decided to join in. And last minute, I got this palette in the mail. This is the Lorac Pro 2 palette, and this is the one that had the tiniest pans, and here it is. So it doesn't really look a lot different. It's because I'm panning so many eyeshadows that I can't get to this as much as I would like. But I use this buff shade, I think that's what it's called. Yep, buff. Almost every time I do my makeup, I set my primer with it. I use the Nectar shade quite a bit as well. If I don't want such a stark contrast in my brow bone, I'll put the Nectar one on instead of like a white. The Mocha shade here I use quite a bit. Rosé I use quite a bit. And then the beige and the snow I use a little bit. But this didn't go down in weight at all this month. I'm not surprised. It probably won't make a ton of movement. We'll see where I'm at the end of the year, but that's my update for the tiny pans. I still like this palette. I feel like it does apply well. I like the quality of the shadows, and I think that they look nice applied. So the weight stayed the same. So on top of that, I decided that I needed to do, oh, hold on. I'm pulling something up. Okay. I decided I wanted to do a pan those shadows because I felt like I was ignoring the rest of my collection. So this month in the rotation, I had my Gingerbread Extra Spicy palette, and the two shades that I was working on randomly out of here were In a Pinch and For the Gram. Those are these two right up here. And I will tell you that I've used them 10 times and they are rolling out. So that's my goal. Wear them 10 times or hit pan in order to get them out of the collection. So those are the top two shades right here. The third shade here, which is it's a pretty shimmer. It's not the best. It's from the Tate Beauty palette. And that was the shade Ritual, and it's the metallic one right here. So there's a little bit of a dip going on in there. I'm not mad at it. So this one's being rolled out too because I did use this 10 times as well. So that is the third shade. And then these bottom two shades were rolled in last month, so they'll be staying and starting off my new color story. So the first shade I have is from the Alter Ego Goddess palette, and it's the shade Avalon right down here. I've only used this once. It's a dark brown, obviously, but I've only used it once. So this is staying in, although I really do like it. So let me swatch that on my other hand so that when I pick my new shades, we can see. And then the next one is from my Pure Defense palette, and I chose shade number 8, which is this one right here. And I've also only used that one time. So let me swatch that one and I'll put it right below. So these are the two shades that I'm working with so far. And so I'm gonna have to roll 3 more in order to have 5, which is my goal. I always want to have 5 shadows in this project. So I did put my random number generator on my phone, and I have the numbers between 3 and 546 because yes, I have 346 single shadows. So I'm going to hit randomize once. It always goes to 49. So let me see. Let's hit it again. 477. Let me write this down. 518. 521. All right, let me get those shadows and I will be right back. All right, guys, who would have thunk it? So I'm gonna have to re-roll 2 out of the 3 shades. The first shade comes from my Urban Decay Stoned Vibes palette, and I was super excited to get this palette until I realized that it was the shade Good Karma. And part of my rules is that I cannot have a brow bone or base product until buff and beige are gone in my Lorac palette. So I have to re-roll for this one. Sorry. Then I rolled my white chocolate palette, and the first shade I got, which I'm super excited about because this is a new palette to me. So the first shade I got is this shade Divine, which is probably gonna be a lot like that pure shade, but we'll see. Why am I getting such boring colors? I keep getting like, this hand was all brown, this hand is starting off all brown. So that third shade there is the shade Divine. I don't know, God must be like, you need to use browns. And then the next one I got was Choco Fest, which was this brown color here. And another part of my rules is that I can't have more than one matte brown transition type of shade. So I'm gonna keep in this palette for the shade Divine, but I'm gonna re-roll for the Choco Fest. So I'm re-rolling for the Stone Vibes and for the Choco Fest. So let's see what I roll. 284. 222. Okay, fingers crossed that these will work. I'll be back. You guys, I just have to laugh because this cannot be true. So the shade in my Tartelette and Bloom palette that I chose randomly is the shade Firecracker. It's yet another brown, shiny color. And it's not part of my rule, but I'm not choosing that. I cannot just do all browns again. I'm re-rolling that one. I'm sorry if you're mad at me for it because I'm not going with the nature of the product, but for like months I've had this. And I have other browns in other projects, and then I choose this so far, and then I get another brown. I can't do it. And then you're gonna laugh at this one, my Born to Run. I was super excited, and what shade did I get? Breakaway. One of my rules, no brown bone or base until my buff and beige are gone in the Lorac palette. So guess what I'm gonna be doing again? Boy, this video is gonna be all kinds of entertaining for you guys. Okay, I'm gonna re-roll 2 of them. This is ridiculous. Okay, here we go. 283. 376. I'll be back again. Shade number 283 was from the Tartelette and Bloom palette. I'm not happy. It was the shade Smarty Pants, another brown. I'm re-rolling. I'm sorry. But then, not that this is much off the brown path, but I got my Modern Renaissance palette in the shade Burnt Orange. Yay! It's not a brown. It's not a bright color, but it's not a brown. So here is the swatch of Burnt Orange. It's right there on the bottom. You guys, I'm gonna roll one more stinking time, and it better be a good one. Otherwise, I'm gonna cry. Okay, I won't cry, but okay, here we go. 134. I'm gonna look right now with you guys because as soon as I picked that one number, I was like, oh, great. 134. Oh, Alter Ego Bloom palette. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get that. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back with my Alter Ego Blooms palette. I'm super excited because I haven't really been able to play with this much, but I got the shade in right here, this silvery pretty color in Daisy. So I'm not mad at that. So here is the shade Daisy. So it's pretty boring still. I mean, you know, not much difference. Actually, the one looks like the In a Pinch in a sense, but here's my new palette. That was rough, guys. Okay, so here's my new lineup. I have from the Alter Ego Goddess palette, Avalon, and then from the Pure Defense palette, this is shade number 8. Then from the White Chocolate palette, I have Divine. And then from the Modern Renaissance palette, Burnt Orange. And then from the Blooms palette, I have Daisy. So there's my new lineup. Not super jazzed, but I'm not disappointed because who doesn't like working with neutrals? This girl doesn't mind. So there you have it. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you liked me, please consider subscribing. And don't forget, giveaway at 100 subs. So share, tell all your friends about my videos. And I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. I will talk with you soon. Bye.